Alrighty guys, so how's it going today? So it seems like it wants to rain out. It kind of has been raining on and off all day today. It rained pretty good yesterday. I got wet going home. So my rack showed up from Curt. I ordered it on eBay, but you know, it's a Curt brand. Just like my hitch is. So the hitches are Curt as well. I was hoping that I could have reused the pin for their setup, but they have a bolt, so I guess you bolt it on, which I guess is good, because I mean when I put this on for the winter, it's staying on all winter. I mean, it's not coming off. I just have it on right now as a test drive. There is going to be some complaining about this, because I got it together. It looks like it'll work. There's not a lot of... Now, this was not designed for an ATV. I think this was more designed for a car. But it's on an ATV because my ATV's got this same style hitch. So, but it also came with the 2-inch adapter, so I can go from this 1 1/4 inch, whatever it is, to a 2-inch. So it can go on a car if it had to. Right out of the gate, the mufflers, they don't touch it, but the heat does hit it directly. So I'm figuring probably over time, the paint may get baked off from the extreme heat, but I don't know. So the things I'm going to complain about is that this thing did not go together very well. It's missing some bolts right now. I have the bolts. It came with everything. A lot of people complain that they come with missing hardware. I just happened to be lucky and it had everything. The problem is that, let's see, there's at least 1, 2, 3 small bolts that did not get in, that did not get put in because the holes are not lined up. The thing is twisted, it's bent a little bit. I mean, I guess I could, you know, bitch and moan and complain about it, which I kind of am, you know, a little bit. Curt, you know, seems to make good products, but I don't think they really care too much about their products. I mean, they're out there. I mean, they sell tons of these things, but when you build something or you design something, you need to actually build it too. You need to actually put it together and make sure it's going to fit, and then take it all back apart and then ship it off, you know, to whoever wants to buy it. Here, everything was extremely tight. I don't know how many layers of paint they put on this thing, but they need to maybe cut back on the paint a little bit. I don't know. Because, I mean, I'll show you. But the main problem was that this center T-brace, is what I call it. It's got the reflective marker on it and everything. It was cocked. It was bent. So the only way you can really get this thing together is everything has to be loose. You just can't tighten a little bit up at a time like I did. Like I started off with putting the middle pipe in, and then I bolted together the bottom half that actually supports the weight, and then from there I put the uprights, or whatever you want to call them, or the extension top pieces. They're not going to fit unless everything is really loose. You can't, because I mean, I was tightening everything else. I was tightening everything down because I figured, you know, it would go together decent. You know, I figured that the paint would probably be an issue because, you know, the paint, you know, besides the paint being an issue, because that kind of was an issue too, things are cocked, things are bent. like I said, there's, what, 3 bolts that didn't go in. The only way I'm probably going to be able to solve this issue is I'm going to have to drill new holes next to the old ones, because it's not lined up. So I'll show you what it looks like here on the back of Big Red. Now the purpose of this, it's actually bigger than what I need it to be, but I'm okay with that. I am going to put, for the winter time, there's just going to be weight in here to put weight on the back, and there is some decent ground clearance, so that's shocking. The only time that would probably ever ram into the ground is when you're trying to climb a snowbank or something, you know, which is what I do sometimes, but a lot of times I don't stack snow that high. So, but it'll probably hold maybe at least 3 or 4 pails, you know, 5-gallon pails, which is actually probably going to be a good thing, because I think what I can do, because there's going to be 2 in here for weight, and then I actually would have room for a third probably, for when I haul water to my cows and when they're in the barn during calving season, because I only haul 1 pail at a time. Well, technically I guess I could do 2 pails now, because I can put one in the rack and I can put one on the side of the footrest, which is the way I was doing it before. Or I could just take the weights out altogether, you know, and then I could haul, what, probably 3 or 4 pails of water. But usually 2 is enough. But, and this thing's only rated for 500 pounds, which I think is going to be more than enough for what I'm going to use this thing for. So, but other than that, I like it. I was a little worried about clearance between that and the tire. It's pretty close. I guess the only thing you really could do is you'd have to buy another one of those square 3/4 or whatever it is size pipe. You know, buy like a, well, you can only get them in, like, I suppose like a 1-foot-long piece, but you could cut it to maybe like a 3-inch piece and get it 3 inches further away from the tires. But it's not bad. So let me show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you, of course, where the bolts are missing and whatnot, and you know, I'll just tell you what I think. Okay, so there it is. That's the Curt brand cargo rack. It's rated for 500 pounds. Right there's all your information. It's probably not going to focus on that. Well, I'll put the link to where I bought it from in the description. There are some things I'm gonna complain about. First is, obviously, you see that it's missing some holes. There are some bolts. There's a bolt missing here, bolt missing back there, and a bolt missing here. Well, see, it has these A-frame looking things here. And honestly, they were just not going to line up, those 3. One of these, I forget which one it was one of these side angle pieces there that was a bastard to get in, and you really had to bend it. I actually had to put it up on its side, like that side down, and I actually had to pull on this and then push on this to just get that bolt even started. So I don't know what Curt does, if they're just kind of half-assing these things together or what, or if these are the older style, you know, cargo racks. I don't know what their new ones. I don't know if they're still building them the same way. When I go on their website, it still has the same item number as what it did like 3 years ago. So I just take it that they're still building them the same way. Like, I don't think it's a piss poor design. Like, I think the metal, you know, will withstand stuff with, you know, like weight. But it just, they need to tweak it a little bit, you know, make it easier. This is see, I call these T-braces right here. All this, because these slide in. These things slide into here. That's why it's got bolts here. Well, it's probably not so bad now, but this was bent over. That one was always okay. But this, I don't know, maybe you can kind of tell that it you know, it's kind of cocked. 6 o'clock, dinner time. It's time to go to the farm too and get shit done there too. But yeah, this was bent. This here. Other than that, I mean, with this being bent, everything was a bitch to put to put together. So, and it looks like they left, you know, like a gap here so you could put a hitch in there. Well, you can't do that. That's just for looks. So don't try to put your hitch in there because it's not gonna work. So, but yeah, I think another thing that maybe I would have liked to have seen done is maybe put a mesh screen floor in here. I mean, still have the brace, the main channel, but just for like smaller tools, you know, because like what I would have liked to have done if they would have had a mesh bottom and maybe a mesh side, I would have liked to have put my hitch in there, you know, so I can keep all my stuff with me, you know. See, you really can't do that. I mean, you could do it this way, but when you bounce it around, you know, it's just going to go sideways and then fall out. So that's the only other disappointment thing I don't like about it. You probably could put your own in if you got smart enough, but I'm not going to go through all that trouble. Not for the amount of use I'm going to use it. So I might even use it when I want to go get gas or something too. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take my 4-wheeler out there and get gas. Another thing that I don't care for, but this is the way they did it. See here. I suppose as far as I can zoom in, well, the pin that they use to attach just to your hitch. It's a piece. It's a threaded bolt, and of course they got an R key in there, an R pin, a safety pin. Okay, I like the fact that you can, I mean, you can tighten that fucker down if you really wanted to get it tight, you know. It's just in there loose right now. There's actually not too much play in it. The more, I suppose the tighter you get it, the less slop will be in it. But right now, this is just kind of to see what it would look like. The thing that I don't like is the fact that the R key that they put in there, it came with it, is extremely big for that size of pin, and it's loose. Look at that. That's way too big of an R pin for that size of you know, like pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to not use this pin. I'm just going to go see if I can find a smaller one to put in there. That's just to, and it does come with a washer and then a locking washer. I'm not sure what side that's supposed to go on, so I just put it on the side that had the bolt head. But they need to you know, put a smaller R pin in there. I mean, sure, a big R pin is good because I mean you can have some pretty big fingers and it'll fit in there just fine. But the pin is too big for, you know, for the main pin. The R pin is too big for that. So, and that's just to, you know, obviously make sure that it can't slide out or anything stupid like that. But there's not much security there because of that R pin. The only thing that I'm trusting that will keep it on is basically actually the threads of the bolt itself. And once you crank them down nice and tight, I think you'll be alright. You probably could even put a nut on the back side too if there was enough thread there to do it. I don't think there's quite enough thread, but I probably would have been okay with just a simple pin. I was just going to put my pin in there. You know, this pin. You know, this pin I use to put this in. And this pin's been to hell and back, and it's still not bent. But, show you the clearance here. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. I would have, that's probably actually a good thing. But clearance is decent. And I did like the fact that they did put a reflective marker on there. I do have warning lights, but I feel like even the reflectors are you know, a little bit of a help. So not too sure if I'm going to be able to tie my pails down. I probably would have liked to seen some, I mean, I guess you could strap them there, but I think I would have liked to seen maybe some tie down points or tie down hooks on here. Just some small ones. I mean, if this thing's only going to hold 500 pounds, it's not like the hooks need to hold up to, you know, like 5,000 pounds. I mean, 500 pounds or whatever is good enough for it. But yeah, I mean, the clearance is decent. So, I mean, I was worried about coming down in this ditch down here. There's a little ditch here. It's pretty bad, but I never hit it. So, but we'll see how it turns out. I mean, it seems to be holding my body weight all right. You can actually see the suspension work for once from back here. But I don't know. There's just some improvement I think they could do. I wish they would maybe listen to the customers a little bit more. I don't know if they do. But this was actually cheap. I bought this on eBay for about $80. I think normally it's about $90. So this might have been like maybe an older model. I don't know. So maybe the newer ones are solved. Maybe they solved those issues. But I don't know. This one didn't have. This one had problems. Don't like the fact that this was bent. It looks like it's straight a little bit. I mean, maybe it'll straighten out over time. But here, like here, I mean, you probably can almost see the hole down there on the bottom. But I can't move it. There's no moving that to adjust it. So I'm going to have to just get the bit that fits that and just drill straight through them. And then put the bolts in. I still have the bolts that will fit there. But I'm just going to have to move the holes. Just going to have to make the holes bigger, I guess. Or something. To fix that issue. Even with those 3 bolts missing, it still seems to be strong enough, you know. But other than that, guys, I think I'm pretty happy with it so far. Like I said, the exhaust pipes will probably eventually cook the paint off, but I didn't buy it to look pretty. I bought it to use it. So, and plus, it's not going to be on in the summertime. Another thing too is if you wanted to use this as like, well, you want to haul stuff. You know, obviously you want to haul stuff, but if you wanted to take this off and then go back to your hitch and then take your hitch off and go back to this, you have to thread that bolt in all the time. I think I would have just rather preferred to seen a pin go in. But I understand why they did the bolt setup, because this was really meant to be on a car going 75 miles an hour down the highway, hitting potholes and stuff. You know, I mean, pins and stuff will slip and slide, because even that pin that I have for the hitch, it does slide around a little bit. So I see why they did it there. But I think they really should make, you know, maybe like some kind of an off-road version of this, or a quick attach setup for us. Because I would like to be able to go back and forth between my hitch and my thing here. So that'd be convenient. I mean, I'm going to probably most likely keep this in the garage or in the shop. So if I need to use it, I can go get it. it's not a big deal. It's going to be close to home. It's not like it's going to be out here in the woods where I got to drive 2 miles to get it. So, but yeah, so that's what I got there. I got the Curt cargo rack. Like I said, I'll put the link to where I bought it. I'll also put the link to their website talking about this, so any of you guys out there that want information about it, that's where you can go to get your information. And look at this too. It's actually no wider than the ATV. That's actually kind of good. I just realized that. It's literally no wider than the 4-wheeler. That's actually maybe a good thing for me, so I can fit, into tight areas. That's going to be convenient. That's another problem too now. Is obviously it's made my 4-wheeler longer, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. So but there you go, guys. That's the Curt cargo rack. Like I said, it has the 1 and whatever inch hitch, but it also comes with a 2-inch adapter, so you can fit it into your standard 2-inch. I'm going to complain about that adapter. That adapter, I don't have it with me because I don't need it. It's in the house. But the adapter seems to be made out of some kind of a plastic. And I kind of disagree with that, because I think with the weight of something and maybe it's sliding, that plastic might crack over time. They should have did aluminum or steel, or maybe some kind of a really heavy duty plastic. But the plastic they used, I don't know, it just seemed kind of cheap. It just didn't seem like it was going to do anything. But I don't know. I'm not going to use it. So, but at least it's there though, if I do need it. Because if my pickup if I get a pickup, it's obviously going to have a Curt hitch on it too. It'll come with a standard 2-inch receiver, so then I can put this on the back of my pickup, even though I have a bed. But just what if I need a little bit of extra space? So this would be actually kind of convenient for gas too. Wouldn't really have to lift the gas up so high, the gas cans. Hell, I might even be able to put my 15-gallon tank in here if I buy that gravity-fed one. Be a little low yet for the tank, but I bought it for the weights. But if you plan on using it for more than one project, you'd probably have to buy more than one of these things. But for me, it's just going to be used to hold weights. For when I have the snow plow in the front, for when I plow, because I need weight on the back tires to help dig in. I just need new tires in the back in general. That'll probably be later on thing. So, but there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. That's the Curt hitch, the Curt cargo rack. Yeah, like I said, there's some things that they could improve on. So, but the welding jobs look decent though. I mean, they welded all that mostly together, but the welds look pretty good, better than mine. That's for damn sure. But I could never weld that very good. So, but yeah. So anyways, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. What you think of it. Let me know if you guys have any of these things of any size. Doesn't really matter what size. This is, I think, it's just the smallest one they make for the, the hitch. It does have a second hole in there too in the hitch. I guess so. You could use a pin, I guess. But the problem there is, yeah, you could use a pin, I guess. Problem being is that it would be too close to the tire then. So that's why I guess I had to go with the bolt. So that was probably the reason. Because they have 2 holes in there. One's for the bolt. And I guess one would be for a pin, if you wanted to do a pin. But you have to have it further in, and it would slap the tires. It would hit the tires, so. But the bolt thing might be alright, because once I put it on for the winter, it's staying on all winter, and then I'll probably take it off in spring. So. But yeah, I don't know, you guys tell me what you think of it. It probably looks a little goofy, but it's going to work for me. Like I said, let me know what you guys think of it. If you guys like Curt or not. I think they're decent. Like I said, I got a hitch from them. That hitch hasn't even shown signs of wear yet. And that's been on there for, I don't know, like 5-6 years now. So, but yeah. So there you go, guys. I'll leave the link to the stuff, all the stuff below. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.